Today on Good Morning Maine, Maine has had an alarming number of pedestrians hit by cars this year, and authorities are urging people to be careful.
Plus, a new report shows the cost of childcare is putting a strain on many Maine families.
And a celebration in Skowhegan, where a shoe plant expansion will create more than 200 new jobs. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
And I'm Craig Colson. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We'll have all the day's news coming up, but first we're going to start with the weather. It's kind of appropriate that you have a cold this week.
I know.
You poor thing. I hope you're feeling a little bit better today. But,
a lot better, thank you.
At least you're not missing much outside because it's going to rain all week long, right into Saturday.
Yep, that was my thoughts exactly as I took yesterday off because I'm sick. This is the perfect day for it, at least.
Yeah, just get some rest and enjoy it. I've been napping for you, hoping it will make you feel better too.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Anything you can do.
I'm doing my best.
Okay, let's throw it over to Devin Biggs to see what the rain is going to do.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Happy Tuesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop with a large supply of ammo in stock, custom Damascus knives, fishing supplies of all kinds, concealed weapons classes, and a full line of Dragonfly UV tackle, plus the latest in ultraviolet tackle. Call today. Alrighty, here we go. Air quality is starting to become an issue around here now as well, mainly further off towards the west where some areas are going to be expected code orange air quality today, and some areas actually already in code red this morning as well. So looking at the legend, orange means it's unhealthy for the sensitive groups, and in the red areas, that's unhealthy for everybody. So those off toward the west will need to watch out. In our backyard today, we're expected to be okay, remaining in the green, but just keep an eye on it. So further off towards the west, that could try to sneak in here, even though we do have rain falling for the time being. We had a small crowd advisory that was in effect earlier this morning. That's expiring this morning as well. So we're getting that out of here as the winds will start to relax soon. Here's the rain developing this morning as well with this area low pressure. It's going to be sending more rain in our direction. The lightning tracker is on. No lightning with this at all. So just general rainfall that we'll be expecting in due time. Though with this area low pressure located right about in here, it's slowly tracking off towards the north, but we'll be sending more rain in our direction as the daytime progresses today. So futurecast moving forward, though, more rain on the way again today. Backing off a little bit later on tonight, but still holding on to the chances for showers, especially as we head towards Wednesday morning. So our early forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period. Plenty of rain on the way. Temperatures in the 50s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
All right, thank you, Devin. Madison police continue to investigate a crash that killed a man from Heartland. They say they were called to Route 201 around 6:45 Sunday night. They discovered an overturned pickup truck and the driver had been killed. Police say 42-year-old Stephen Young was driving north when he went off the left side of the road and then struck a storage building before rolling over. Young was partially ejected from the vehicle and was pronounced dead at the scene. His passenger, 55-year-old Paul Pronto of Montana, was not hurt. Police say neither man had been wearing a seatbelt. That crash remains under investigation.
Authorities have released the identity of the person whose remains were discovered following a fire at a Kittery Days Inn. The Maine State Police spokesperson says the remains belong to 57-year-old Daniel Clark of Manassas, Virginia. Clark had reportedly been working in the area and was staying at the hotel. State police say DNA testing was used to identify Clark. Kittery Fire Chief David O'Brien says he thinks the inn was last inspected about 2 years ago. And he also said that the Days Inn had no sprinkler system. The fire remains under investigation.
Well, as summer approaches and foot traffic increases, local authorities are stressing the importance of pedestrian safety and awareness. There have already been more than 20 people killed this year while walking on main roads. Our A.J. Douglas met with Bangor Police to learn more.
That horrible feeling that you've run into somebody.
A recent crash landed a man in the hospital with serious injuries after a driver reportedly failed to yield at a crosswalk on Main Street in Bangor. Sergeant Jason McCambly says, thankfully the pedestrian survived, but reminds drivers to be careful.
Pay attention. Look at what's in front of you. Don't look at your phone. Don't look at the radio. If the kids are yelling, give it a second before you turn your attention to them.
The Maine Department of Transportation reports there were 21 pedestrian fatalities statewide in 2022. Officer McCamley says pedestrians should always move with caution, too.
Pedestrians, you may have the right of way. That vehicle coming outweighs you by a whole lot. That vehicle can do a whole lot of damage to you, even though you are in the right.
Now that tourism season is ramping up, along with the scheduled series of concerts taking place this summer, Walkers are asked to be mindful of their alcohol intake.
Yes, and people are impaired. We've had those, and more often than not, it's because the driver is just not paying attention.
McCamley also reminds drivers never drink and drive, pointing out that impairment has reportedly played a role in multiple crashes involving pedestrians. In Bangor, AJ Douglas for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
All right, moving on to other news now. A Lubec man will serve more than 2 years in jail for stealing guns from a store in Machias and then threatening a witness. 29-year-old Jeremy Lyons was given a 33-month sentence yesterday in federal court in Bangor. He was also ordered to pay restitution. He pleaded guilty to the charges back in December of 2022. According to court records, Lyons broke into Pineo's True Value in Machias and stole 3 pistols. Maine State Police Crime Lab testing matched his DNA to a Gatorade bottle that was left at the scene. In July, Lyons allegedly threatened a confidential source who provided information to federal law enforcement and later challenged the source to a fight.
After 2 days of cleaning, the Maine Law Enforcement Officers Memorial in Augusta has nearly been restored. The cleanup comes after the memorial's granite wall was vandalized early last week with spray paint. The wall lists the names of 88 officers who died in the line of duty. South Portland company Magic Carpet Cleaning and Restoration has been at the scene since Friday, carefully power washing the paint off without destroying the granite. Former South Portland Police Sergeant Joseph Delaquia has been helping with the cleanup effort and says he doesn't understand why someone would vandalize the memorial.
These people gave the ultimate sacrifice to their communities and their state, and to damage this makes no sense to me at all.
Delaquia says there will be shadows of where the paint was sprayed, but those will go away over time.
Well, a washout caused by a broken water main damaged the road on the corner of North French and Alden Street in Bangor Monday morning. The damage prompted officials to temporarily close down the Broadway side of Alden Street. Bangor Water District Construction Supervisor Vaughn Littlefield says the washout was the result of a 12-inch cast iron pipe installed back in 1947, breaking. He says it's possible a shift in the ground surrounding the pipe caused the break. After the Bangor Water District found the break, they went to work replacing the water main and repaving that section of North French and Alden Street that was damaged. First established in 1875, Bangor's underground water infrastructure is one of the oldest in the state. Bangor averages around 30 to 35 washouts a year. According to Littlefield, that number is average compared with other cities in Maine.
Secretary of State Shenna Bellows will be in the nation's capital today and tomorrow, calling on federal officials to make elections safer and more secure. Our Matthew Durantzik has the story.
Shenna Bellows is one of many secretaries of state nationwide who will be in Washington, D.C. Tuesday, urging Congress and White House officials to provide sustainable funding for election security.
We're calling on Congress to appropriate $400 million in the fiscal year 24 budget nationwide to ensure that we have adequate preparation and resources for the 2024 presidential election.
Bellows says the technology the state has in place for elections is not sufficient to deal with the issues surrounding cybersecurity and election fraud.
We need to be able to invest in our election infrastructure to continue to maintain the highest possible level of cybersecurity protections and to modernize our technology.
New York's Onondaga County Elections Commissioner Dustin Zarni says it's important that states receive the funding.
We need the funding to be able to do it. And if we don't bring that funding, then we are asking for failures in certain points of our election system and making it more vulnerable.
Secretary Bellows will also be joined by election workers from across the country, asking the Department of Justice to do more to protect them.
We have seen over the last couple of years a rise in threats and harassment against our election workers. That is creating huge recruitment and retention challenges in the field.
There are real people that are running our elections. People like everyday people that are just coming together. They're civil servants and they're trying to find a way to do a difficult job with little pay and little resources.
Bellows says these issues have gained bipartisan support and believes that they will get the attention of lawmakers in Washington.
This is Democrats, Republicans, independents, and nonpartisan staff coming together to say elections are a shared priority. And regardless of who you are or where you come from, we can all agree that elections need to be adequately funded.
In Augusta, Matthew Durantzik, ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
Well, meanwhile, a bill that raises the minimum age to marry in Maine has been signed into law. The current state law allows children who are 16 or 17 to get married as long as they have written permission from their parents, guardians, or consent from a probate judge. Under the new amended law, those rules will still apply for children who are at least 17, but will prohibit marriage for anyone younger than that. It will go into effect 90 days after the legislature adjourns.
A new report shows the child care crisis is costing Mainers hundreds of millions of dollars a year. That impact has doubled since 2018, affecting families, businesses, and taxpayers. Dan Lampariello highlights the toll it's taking and the debate over possible solutions.
At Youth and Family Outreach in Portland, child care is at the center of their mission.
We filled every square inch we have with childcare because that was what was so needed.
But despite that need only growing larger, the facility has had to cap enrollment and close one classroom because it can't find enough qualified staff.
We were already turning people away multiple times a day, and now we're doing that even more because we're not able to hire.
It's an issue impacting child care providers across Maine, with a new study from Ready Nation, a nonprofit business partnership, showing there's a shortage of more than 1,000 child care teachers in our state, leading to a capacity crisis that's costing the state's economy more than $400 million a year.
They said, we have the space, we have the materials, we have the room, we just don't have anybody to teach.
Parents like Catherine Johnston say wait lists because of the worker shortage have gotten out of control. She was on nearly 40 different ones. Then came the cost.
Parents are paying more than we ever thought possible. You know, we're paying more than our mortgages for childcare that we need in order to go to work because kids need to be somewhere.
In Augusta, legislators are already debating bills aimed at increasing wages for childcare providers and eligibility for subsidy programs. Steps those relying on these services believe are key to keeping access and affordability.
If this is a problem for everybody, why aren't we doing something about it?
As the legislature in Augusta debates those bills to increase child care access in the state, Governor Janet Mills has proposed adding $4 million to her budget that would increase the tax credit for child care expenses.
All right, well, the time now is 6:12. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, Acadia National Park receives funding to create some badly needed housing for those who keep the park running.
But first, another check of that weather forecast. Yes, the rain will continue to fall. More rain today. It will be breezy with a high near 57. Scattered showers overnight with lows in the upper 40s. Tomorrow, more rain on the way. The highs on Wednesday around 59.
Dave Matthews Band Live. Friday, June 16th, Maine Savings Amphitheater, Bangor, Maine. On sale Friday at 10 a.m. at waterfrontconcerts.com or ticketmaster.com. Pre-order the new album, Walk Around the Moon, now.
Tonight, celebrate Pride.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. And with the exclusive network interview with Elliot Page.
I'm feeling that joy every day. I really am.
Tonight at 10/9 Central on ABC.
I got hurt in a car accident and I've got some questions. Can I talk to a lawyer for free?
I answer car accident questions like these every day. Call the twos. We win for you.
If you're hurt in an accident, what do? Call 222-2222.
Steve Harvey powers the XT.
If roles were reversed, what might the turkey do to you on Thanksgiving?
Eat my drumstick.
On Family Feud.
On ABC7.
He has not paid you following the funeral services of his father.
He made a post on Facebook. I did not like that post.
I'm entitled to post my thoughts as well as anyone else.
He wasn't getting any more payment from me.
Hot Bench.
Tuesday at 3 on ABC7.
Welcome back, everyone. Acadia National Park has received the needed funding to work on a project that's been on the back burner for decades. During the Acadia National Park Advisory Commission meeting on Monday, park officials announced they will start to design an addition to the Hardin Farms apartments. to offer more employee housing. The two largest issues for the park in recent years has been finding staff and where to house them. Currently, their employee housing units consist of 2 4-bedroom apartments, but the project aims to build housing for an additional 50 to 60 beds.
Hardin Farms has been targeted for building employee housing since like the 1960s on many of our park management plans going back 50, 60 years. If you go down there today, you will even see how they started to build some of the infrastructure. There are random roads into the woods and fire hydrants in the woods. This has been the plan for a very long time. There was just never the funding to make it happen.
The design process is expected to be completed by the end of this year, with construction starting in 2024.
Hundreds of hopeful hunters are expected to turn out for the annual Moose Lottery. It will take place Saturday afternoon at Mill Park in Augusta. A different location is selected each year. This year, more than 4,000 permits will be drawn in the Random Chance Lottery from a pool of over 72,000 applicants. The lottery will take place 2 p.m. on Saturday on the shores of the Kennebec River. The results of the drawing will be posted online for applicants who are not able to attend.
A living memorial honoring fallen service members was removed from Bangor International Airport over the weekend. The Summit Project Honor Case was temporarily on display on the first floor of BIA throughout April and May. On Sunday, Summit Project volunteers lovingly packed up the stones representing 20 fallen service members with ties to Maine into individual handmade cloth bags. The case and its stones will be on display at LL Bean's Order Fulfillment Center in Freeport.
We try to have the honor case travel to many different locations all over the state, did these different regions. We want these heroes to visit every aspect, every area of the state.
Bringing the case all over the state of Maine, it's a twofold. I get to share the stories, I get to share the Summit Project, and I get to see this beautiful state.
Learn more about the Summit Project and its Living Memorial Honor Case. You can log on to thesummitproject.org.
Realtors are teaming up for a personal care drive in an effort to supply personal health items to individuals who need them the most. The drive, now in its second year, runs in conjunction with the National Association of Realtors Volunteer Week, a time that the Greater Bangor Association of Realtors Board Director Julie Sleeper and her colleagues take a lot of pride in.
We enjoy very much being able to give back to our communities and helping them to feel and have the security and some of the most basic things in life.
From today until Wednesday, the public is encouraged to bring items such as adult and children's diapers, toiletries, hygiene products, and more that will help somebody in our community. If you want to donate, drop off the items at any of the locations listed on your screen.
Very nice thing they're doing.
Absolutely.
Well, the time now is 6:18. Coming up after the break, the historic New Balance facility in Skowhegan broke ground on its new $65 million expansion plan.
The latest on this and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
Update your outdoor living space and make the most of your outdoor life with a new deck from Hammond Lumber Company. From wood to low-maintenance composite and PVC decking, Hammond has the materials, knowledge, and experience to help you get everything you need for that perfect new deck. Railing options include wood, composite, aluminum, and the modern look of cable railing. Your Hammond sales rep can answer any questions and will walk you through your options. Get the deck you want, the one you deserve, when you bring your vision to Hammond Lumber Company.
I got certified as a crash reconstructionist in 2005. I've investigated 150 crashes. 90% of those are speed related.
Vehicle rolled over several times.
When vehicles approach 30 miles an hour over the speed limit, the injuries start getting more serious to the point of being fatal. It's scary how fast someone's life can be altered forever just by driving a little bit too fast. The old adage is speed kills. It is absolutely the case.
Hey, Maine. How are you? Yes, you. How are you really? It's a question we rarely ask ourselves. But to Northern Light Health, how you are means a lot. So we're out here asking and encouraging you to ask the people in your life, starting with yourself. So ask away. Then connect with us at northernlighthealth.org/howareyou.
Welcome back, everyone. The historic New Balance facility in Skowhegan broke ground yesterday on a $65 million expansion. Our Grace Blanchard has the story.
I am thrilled to be here today with all our distinguished guests, and it starts with all our New Balance associates. Good morning, everybody.
It's been more than 40 years since New Balance purchased their Skowhegan factory, and now it's getting a new expansion. The $65 million project includes constructing a 120,000 square foot single-story addition to the existing 5-story factory building. New Balance's Vice President of Corporate Services, John Campbell, says this project has been in the works for over 10 years and will complement the historic building.
To have a modern facility that we will be able to create and continue to build the best footwear in the world is something that's super special. And I've been with New Balance for 17 years, and probably this is the highlight of my career, quite honestly.
According to Campbell, this expansion will allow them to create over 1.3 million pairs of athletic shoes per year. He says Skowhegan has long been a shoe center, and for generations, this company has been a big part of the community.
Generation over generation for the past 40 years, we've had mothers, fathers, children, grandchildren, aunts and uncles. It's a real family type of situation where we've continued to try to, focus on that. And we have whole families in our factory that work together.
This groundbreaking expansion for New Balance also promises new job opportunities for the Skowhegan community. State officials Senator Angus King and Senator Susan Collins were also in attendance, and Governor Mills highlighted that this expansion will add 200 jobs on top of the 270 already working in the factory.
The estimated $65 million investment in Skowhegan will strengthen the economy, support local families, and set Maine apart when it comes to domestic manufacturing.
State Representative Jennifer Poirier says this comes at a pivotal time for the Skowhegan community.
The expansion of the Skowhegan facility is a significant investment in our community, and this project comes at the right time, a time when so many people are searching for and in need of good-paying jobs to support their families.
New Balance officials say they anticipate occupancy by August 2024, with the first pair of shoes being made sometime in November. In Skowhegan, Grace Blanchard, ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
Fantastic news for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
200 jobs is a lot of jobs.
Yeah.
The time now is 6:22.
Let's get a full look at the forecast with Devin.
Alrighty, here we go. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop with a large supply of ammo in stock, custom Damascus knives, fishing supplies of all kinds, concealed weapons classes, and a full line of Dragonfly UV tackle, plus the latest in ultraviolet tackle. Call them today. Alrighty, here we go. Air quality is a problem across some parts of the Northeast now, courtesy of wildfires in Canada. Here in Maine, we're okay for the time being. Areas to the west are already in code orange, if not even code red in a few spots. So orange means unhealthy for the sensitive groups, or unhealthy in the red for everybody, though. So if you're in the red area, that means it's unhealthy for everybody. But in Bangor, though, and pretty much the entire state, we're looking okay. We're green for now. We'll stay green today, but we'll need to keep an eye on this. So courtesy of that wildfire smoke. So look at this. So it's going to mainly miss us courtesy of that area low pressure. The area low pressure, that counterclockwise rotation, will be seeing all this smoke further off towards the west. So that's why they're under air quality alerts, as they'll be dealing with this at least through Friday at best. But otherwise, so back here at home, small craft advisory is expiring this morning for this little area right about in here, expiring at 8 a.m. So we'll start to improve as we do proceed forward in time. But again, wave heights remaining active at around 2 to 3 feet, at least closer towards shore, not as bad, but it's further out towards sea where it is more active at around 6 to even 7 feet, according towards some of those buoys. So closer toward land, not too bad. That's why they're going to be trimming some of those advisories back later on this morning. We've been watching some showers already developing this morning, tracking from the east going toward the west, and we're just getting started with this next round. Now I'll be moving in not only today, though, but later on tonight and pretty much most of this week as well. This low pressure center not really moving all that much. We'll have to wait until at least this weekend, though, before this thing finally starts to get out of here, as this pattern continues to remain slow. So futurecast moving forward for today, more rain on the way throughout the daytime period. Some dry hours as well from time to time, but we'll have to wait until later into the daytime period, or even later on tonight for some of those dry hours and those scattered showers will continue to remain a thing, though, even through Wednesday morning. morning as well. And pretty much a repetitive pattern, more scattered showers possible even as we head towards Wednesday night and even into Thursday as well. Sounds like a broken record, and we'll be dealing with that, though, in due time for a while. So how much rain can we possibly see? Possibly up to an inch or two before we're all finished up in a few areas. This is running through at least early Sunday morning, so some decent rainfall on the way across some parts of the area. So your forecast for today, though, upper 50s, rain likely, also breezy out there. The north wind getting up to around 25 miles per hour. For tonight, upper 40s, scattered showers, also breezy out there. Northwest wind getting up to around 25 miles per hour. For tomorrow, upper 50s, rain likely, also breezy out there again. The northwest wind getting up to around 20 miles per hour at times early and kind of backing off a little bit later on. Alrighty, here's a look at your extended forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop. Plenty of rain on the way through Friday. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s. We warm up into the upper 60s on Saturday with a chance for scattered showers and thunderstorms.
He was just here this morning showing us his tractor, and there were some parts that I've never seen loose on another tractor before. And I was like, how did you do that?
That's like Rhino style.
Experience United, your local John Deere dealer.
Come see us at R&K Variety in Hamden. R&K Variety is more than just a convenience store. With delicious homemade food made fresh daily, we offer hearty meals that don't break the bank. Whether it be our delicious chicken pot pie, our famous lasagna, or one of our savory soups, you can't go wrong at R&K Variety. Looking for a drink after work? R&K Variety is an agency liquor store with an impressive selection. R&K Variety, more than just a convenience store. We're your neighbor, chef, barista, and friend. Stop by today.
Wow, with fuel prices quickly rising and no end in sight, isn't it time to give Black's Heat Pumps a call? Did you know heat pumps could save you up to 50% on your heating bill? Our experts can handle all your commercial and residential work and provide you with quality installation, repair, and maintenance. Give us a call today for a free estimate. Our number one priority is to save you money and keep you comfortable all year long. Get the service you deserve. Find us at blacksheatpumps.com and on Facebook.
ABC 7, Fox 22, Comfort Shoes and More, and Dirt Road Acres want to send you to see Kane Brown live in concert on his Drunk or Dreaming tour with special guests Gabby Barrett and Restless Road, Thursday, June 22nd at the Main Savings Amphitheater in Bangor. Sign up to win tickets by registering at Comfort Shoes and More in Newport. Visit your knowledgeable staff to find your summer footwear solutions. And Dirt Road Acres, your #1 trusted dispensary providing outstanding customer service and award-winning knowledge. Win tickets to see Kane Brown, June 22nd on the Bangor waterfront.
There's one number you need to know. It's called Joe.
Now to the race for the White House and the expanding number of Republican candidates. Former Vice President Mike Pence is officially running, and Chris Christie is expected to jump in the race later today. Meanwhile, lawyers for frontrunner Donald Trump were spotted at the Department of Justice, a sign the special counsel investigation may be wrapping up. ABC's Lindsay Watts has the latest from Washington.
This morning, Mike Pence is taking on his former boss, filing paperwork to declare his 2024 campaign for president.
Most people know me as vice president, as a loyal lieutenant standing beside the president. I'm proud of the record that we created in the Trump-Pence administration. But I was also a governor.
Another former governor will soon join him in the race. New Jersey's Chris Christie, a former ABC News contributor, is set to make his own announcement today in New Hampshire. Both men joining a crowded field that includes Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, and South Carolina Senator Tim Scott. Nearly every GOP candidate was in Iowa this weekend, though notably absent Republican frontrunner and former President Donald Trump. Trump making his third run for the White House as the investigation into his handling of classified documents appears to be winding down. Trump's attorneys met with officials at the Department of Justice on Monday. Sources say special counsel Jack Smith attended the nearly 2-hour-long meeting as Trump's lawyers tried to make the case that he should not be charged for mishandling hundreds of classified documents.
Get what you wanted? Did you get a meeting with the attorney?
We don't have any comment.
Federal prosecutors suspect Trump illegally retained classified material and may have obstructed justice when the government tried to recover documents from Mar-a-Lago. Trump responding on social media, clearly worried he could be indicted, asking how he could possibly be charged when he, quote, did nothing wrong. Some believe the crowded Republican field may ultimately help Trump win. New Hampshire Governor Chris Sununu has announced he will not be running and warns that candidates with no path to victory must have the discipline to get out.
Lindsay Watts reporting. Meanwhile, the lead federal investigator is now at the site of a fatal plane crash in the Blue Ridge Mountains that sparked some intense moments with the U.S. scrambling F-16 fighter jets in a supersonic chase on Sunday. Fox's Lauren Blanchard is in Washington with the latest on the investigation.
Federal investigators tasked with probing Sunday's plane crash killing all 4 on board still haven't identified the cause. But in a statement, the National Transportation Safety Board said they will begin the process of documenting the scene and examining the aircraft Monday morning.
That plane hit going awfully fast. So, I mean, there's not going to be a lot of debris out there that you're going to be able to piece together. But, you know, NTSB has done this a lot of times, and I'm always surprised that they're able to put all this back together.
This home security video captured the sonic boom that thundered Sunday afternoon as 6 U.S. fighter jets scrambled to intercept the private plane over Washington's restricted airspace. The FAA says the Cessna Citation took off from Elizabethtown, Tennessee, and was headed for Long Island's MacArthur Airport when it turned around and flew a straight path over D.C. before crashing over mountainous terrain near Montebello, Virginia.
This has the signatures of some sort of incapacitation.
Sunday's crash echoes the 1999 death of golfer Payne Stewart, whose Learjet flew for thousands of miles before crashing into fields after the cabin lost pressure and flew aimlessly across the country with the pro golfer on board.
We'll know when the pilots turn in their debrief what they saw, whether there are signs that it was a decompression and the interior cockpit is frosted over.
The military says it chose not to shoot down the Cessna because it was maintaining a constant high altitude and route, meaning it wasn't clear if it was a threat. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
Still to come here on the second half of our show, we'll get a glimpse of a brightly colored rare lobster that was recently caught in Casco Bay.
Plus, we'll get an update on how Maine's wild blueberry crop is faring. That and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
Luna Family Auto Sales is a locally owned business run by a husband and wife team.
Here at Luna Family Auto Sales, we combine our passion for cars with providing service to the community and local economy. Featuring no dark or hidden fees at all, we offer financing for all credit types and service everything we sell.
Check out our website at lunafamilyautosales.com.
Or come in and say hi. We'd love to meet you and introduce ourselves. Luna Family Auto Sales, 649 Stillwater Ave, Old Town.
Hey Red Sox fans, you've got to play You Pick 'em Red Sox at foxbangor.com. Local weekly winners receive prizes from Herman Meadow Golf Club or The Local. Register now at foxbangor.com. You Pick 'em Red Sox is sponsored by Brent's Chiropractic Clinic in Bangor, Eddington Store in Eddington, Maine Collision Center in Bangor, and Twin City Tile in Brewer.
Built upon a solid foundation of cast iron and steel, the Kubota LO1 series is rated #1 in durability and owner experience. Powerful Kubota diesel engine, ease of operation, and your choice of a dependable Kubota gear or HST transmission. The durable Kubota LO1 series tractor. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo.
Available at Doors Equipment, 1468 Outer Hammond Street, Bangor.
Hi, I'm Alice Seeger. Welcome to Belfast Fiber Arts. We provide hand-woven, hand-spun, knitted and quilted, upcycled clothes, and art items for your home. We also feature weaving looms, spinning wheels, and supplies. We are a weaving studio and a makerspace with a sewing lab and a textile research library. We offer classes, workshops, and study groups. So stop by and visit us at Belfast Fiber Arts. We're at 171 High Street in Belfast between the Colonial Theatre and the Beanbag Store. We look forward to seeing you.
You're watching ABC7 Bangor.
June 6th, 2023, which makes today D-Day.
Okay.
Oh, I'm supposed to read this too?
Yes.
Okay. On this day, back in 1944, Operation Overlord went into effect, sending an invasion of American, Canadian, and British troops up the beaches of Normandy during a time when France was still occupied by the armies of Nazi Germany. This amphibious assault landed some 156,000 Allied soldiers on the beaches by the end of the day.
And we're supposed to, I don't know if we have that video, or are we able to roll that? There we go.
There you go.
And despite their success, some 4,000 of the Allies were killed. By August of 1944, all of northern France had been liberated, and in the spring of the next year, the Allies had defeated the Germans. Historians often refer to D-Day as the beginning of the end of World War II. And that video that was just on the screen, that was of the events leading up to D-Day. That's on the National Archives. So the Department of Defense released a lot of video such as that. You can go to that website, National Archives, and just find all sorts of stuff like that of relating to the events of D-Day and other events as well.
I'm sure we'll be hearing more about that as the day goes along, too. I just can only imagine. I've been fascinated by World War II since I was a young guy, but just imagine those guys going ashore there.
I can't. I can't. Yep. It's fascinating. All right, for other events on this day, in 1925, Walter Chrysler founded the automobile manufacturer Chrysler Corporation. And in 1932, the Revenue Act of 1932 was enacted, creating the first gas tax in the United States at a rate of 1 cent per gallon.
Wish it was still that today.
I know.
In 2002, a near-Earth asteroid estimated at 10 meters in diameter explodes over the Mediterranean Sea between Greece and Libya. It resulted in an explosion that was estimated to have a force of 26 kilotons, which was more powerful than the Nagasaki atomic bomb.
Crazy.
This screen always cuts off the last two
I
letters,
know.
so I can't see it.
Right.
All right. And in 2019, on the 50th anniversary of the Stonewall riots in New York City's Police Commissioner James O'Neill apologizes for his department's actions during the 1969 raid on the Stonewall Inn.
And of course, the Stonewall riots, or the uprising also called, began when the police raided the Stonewall Inn, a gay club in New York City, sparking riots among bar patrons and residents. 6 days of protests ensued, which served as a catalyst for the gay rights movement in the United States, and of course why Pride Month is known in June.
Yeah, that was our midpoint yesterday, the whole thing.
Oh, gotcha.
You were homesick, though.
I
You
know.
didn't know that.
I was sleeping.
Yeah. I didn't know that's where the Pride thing began, though. That is part of they were trying to remember that time and the struggles people were facing back then.
Right.
And letting people know that you have a lot to be proud of now, you know?
Absolutely. 6 days is a lot of lot of time to go by.
It was
for
kind of
riots.
nice to hear that the people in New York kind of rallied around everybody there.
Absolutely.
You know, so.
Yeah, I mean, Greenwich Village then. This was Greenwich Village, and that was known as the gay area.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was support. If you lived in the area, you were often either an ally or you were gay yourself.
There you go.
Yep.
Well, for birthdays today, we have English actor Jason Isaacs, who is known for his role as Lucius Malfoy in the Harry Potter film series. He is 60 years old today. Guy can be pretty scary, too, huh?
I know.
Yeah, he was in one with Mel Gibson, played something on
The Patriot. Yep.
Boy, the guy just scared a scary guy. He does it well.
It's the gays. Yeah.
Yeah. The gays? What'd you say?
His gays.
Oh, his gays. I thought you were still talking about Pride or something.
Not the homosexuals.
Okay.
Right? He just has a penetrating gaze.
It's like something I didn't know about here.
No, that's my bad.
The gays. Okay.
We didn't even finish birthdays.
All right, we have more birthdays. Actor Paul Giamatti, known for a variety of roles, is 56. Oh, it's too early for this.
It's Cam Neely's birthday, too. He's the president of the Bees. Happy birthday to all of them.
He's 57 today.
Let's send it over to Devin Bates.
Am I as red as I feel right now?
I am.
It's the gays. Here's Devin.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Happy Tuesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop with a large supply of ammo in stock, custom Damascus knives, fishing supplies of all kinds, concealed weapons classes, and a full line of Dragonfly UV tackle, plus the latest in ultraviolet tackle. Call today. Alrighty, here we go. Air quality is starting to become an issue around here now as well, mainly further off towards the west where some areas are going to be expected code orange air quality today, and some areas actually already in code code red this morning as well. So looking at the legend, orange means it's unhealthy for the sensitive groups, and in the red areas, that's unhealthy for everybody. So those off toward the west will need to watch out. In our backyard today, we're expected to be okay, remaining in the green, but just keep an eye on it. So further off towards the west, that could try to sneak in here, even though we do have rain falling for the time being. We had a small crowd advisory that was in effect earlier this morning. It's expiring this morning as well, so we're getting that out of here as the winds will start to relax soon. Here is the rain developing this morning as well with this area low pressure. It's going to be sending more rain in our direction. The lightning tracker is on. No lightning with this at all, so just general rainfall that we'll be expecting in due time, though, with this area low pressure located right about in here. It's slowly tracking off towards the north, but we'll be sending more rain in our direction as the daytime progresses today. So futurecast moving forward, though, more rain on the way again today, backing off a little bit later on tonight, but still holding on to the chances for showers, especially as we head towards Wednesday morning. So hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, plenty of rain on the way, temperatures in the 50s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
All right, thank you, Devin. Well, a rare lobster caught in Casco Bay has students and teachers at the University of New England very excited. The lobster, which is bright orange and has only one claw, will be going to the school to be studied. One of the things they're going to be looking at has to do with the environment and whether or not it has an impact on the lobster's color.
One of the things that we're going to be able to see here is the reason why is her color due to genetics, or is it due to the environment? Because as she grows that back, is it going to be the gorgeous orange, or is it going to be a slightly different color?
Tilburg says he is looking forward to studying the lobster, and he hopes to get more people interested in them. The chances of finding an orange lobster are said to be 1 in 30 million, which is much harder than finding a blue lobster, which is now 1 in 2 million.
I don't know. I had a whole pot of orange lobsters last summer.
Good point.
I think they were cooked, though.
Right.
So, yeah, I know. Keenan liked that one. So I'm just so funny this morning.
You were hilarious. Okay, still to come here this morning, Tyler Cruz has our sports updates.
Don't go away, please.
Living in Maine means long, cold winters and hot, humid summers. Whatever the weather, Bangor Heat Pumps is your solution. Open 24/7, Bangor Heat Pumps takes care of you at home or at work. We operate statewide and service all brands and models. Understanding moving can be stressful. We will help move any units you may have. We offer a veterans discount in our home with a Capeless Hero discount. Visit us online at BangorHeatPumpsLLC.com or call or text us at 307-7746. Bangor Heat Pumps.
Is a very user-friendly golf course. We have some very good rates. We have discounts for military people. We have discounts for seniors, individual and group lessons for juniors.
The greens, especially this year, they're in excellent shape. It's not a course that won't allow you to hit the ball 10 or 12 times on any hole and still have fun.
There's some challenges out there, but there's also some risk rewards.
It's convenient. You can come in out Union Street, you can come in Route 2. It's just in a great location.
It's just a fun place to play.
Hello, Eastern Maine. Watch You Bet Your Life weekdays at 10 a.m. here on ABC 7.
Welcome back in, everyone, and thank you for staying with us. Let's start on the tennis courts here. Up in Orono, the Red Riots won the Class C North Regional title, and now they're gearing up for Wednesday's state finals match with a perfect record still intact. The last few years, Orono has made a run in the playoffs just to see their season end in the regional semifinals. This year, they came into the postseason 12-0 as the #1 overall seed and etched out a close win over MCI in those semis, and then they took down Calais in a battle of unbeatens in the finals. With a few new faces out on the court this year, it's really been their depth and the way that everybody steps up that makes the difference.
Well, we lost a lot of seniors last year, coming into this year. But we have a lot of people who stepped up, and we're all really passionate about playing. Like, we play after practice and the weekends every day. we're all very excited about getting to the state championship. It's a big feat. We're all ready to go.
I mean, we got a crazy deep team. Our second double, I play second doubles, and our first and second doubles are super strong, and I think that's made the difference in our harder matches. Being able to really take control of those doubles points.
Now the Riots take on Wayne Fleet on Wednesday in Portland, and it will be the Flyers' 15th straight state finals match. They've won every single title since 2008. So Orono knows it's going to be a tough match, but they are ready for what Wayne Fleet throws at them.
I was saying to pretty much everybody that all I wanted to do last year was go to states, just go play states, and I'm so happy I can do it this year. And I think it'll be a fun match on top of being a tough one.
Well, we're definitely going in as underdogs, and so we're hoping to have a good time, maybe show what we're made of, and pull up an upside if we can do it.
All right, wishing them luck. Let's go over to some basketball now. On the courts, Maine United has had another great summer on the Nike EYBL circuit, playing in the E16 League. Dominating the court once again with them has been the phenom Cooper Flagg. Flagg has posted some insane stat lines this summer, recently recording a triple-double with 12 points, 17 boards, and a dozen blocks. He had a great summer last year with Team USA, earning the USA Basketball Male Athlete of the Year, and fields over a dozen offers from D1 institutions, but the sophomore out of Newport isn't worried about any of that or the future at all. Instead, he's just living in the moment and enjoying each experience as it comes.
I think the biggest thing is just kind of appreciating every day for itself. And I'm really just focusing on getting better one day at a time and kind of just staying in the small picture and trying to stay outside of the future as much as possible and just kind of just appreciating what I have right here in this moment.
This winter, Flagg helped lead Montverde to the #1 overall seed in this year's high school basketball Geico National Championship. He's won a gold medal, and he's played on the most competitive AAU stage around. But one thing tops all of that in his eyes, and it's winning the gold ball with Nokomis just over a year ago.
I mean, I think that's probably the thing in my basketball career so far that I'm probably the most proud of, and the thing that I kind of always kind of look back to and just appreciate more than anything else.
All right, let's stay with some high school sports now. On Monday, the Maine Sports Hall of Fame announced their 5 recipients of the Maine Sports Hall of Fame Scholarship. Each of these scholar athletes will receive a $5,000 scholarship award over 2 semesters. We're going to start locally. Isaac Hayner of Mattanocook, the 2-time wrestling state champ, 2-time conference player of the year in football, and Clark University baseball commit, is one of 5 to receive the award. He is joined by Elise McNair, a 1,000-point scorer in girls basketball from Old Orchard Beach, Yarmouth soccer star Ava Feely, she's playing at Boston College next year, Annabelle Brooks of Cheverus was the skier of the year, and she is headed to Harvard in the fall to continue that career. And Julia Black of Scarborough, the soccer state champion recently, she has a 106 average in the classroom. She's headed to Duke in the fall, so congratulations to all of them. Let's move on to some lacrosse now. The standings have been finalized and the playoff matchups announced. Let's see what our area teams are doing in the first round. In Class A lacrosse in the prelims, Bangor hosting a playoff game for the 2nd straight year. They will host Scarborough Wednesday at 6 p.m. Brewer hitting the road for their prelim matchup 6 p.m. on Tuesday at Mount Ararat. Messalonsky boys, they are the 3 seed in Class B, so they have a bye into the quarterfinals. They'll host the winner of Mount Blue and Biddeford. And then in girls lacrosse, Messalonsky, the 5 seed, they will travel to Mount Ararat for the quarterfinals. That game at 6 p.m. on Friday as well. And that is all the time we have for sports. Be right back after the break.
Goose River Farm and Meat Store is conveniently located on Route 3 across from Hammond Lumber in Belfast. They have a wide selection of meat and poultry, including beef, pork, lamb, chicken, duck, rabbit, and turkey. Buy your steak and meats for grilling this summer.
It's summer and the savings are heating up at the Furniture Gallery. Sofas starting at $3.99. Recliners starting at $2.99. Queen mattresses also starting at $2.99. Ashley, Flexsteel, Nectar, Restonic, and Serta. If it's in stock, it's yours to take home today. So what are you waiting for? The Furniture Gallery Summer Savings Sale is huge. Special financing is available. Support our Maine family-owned business and save money. Your best value is always at the Furniture Gallery in Augusta, Bangor, Newport, and North Windham.
If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma or asbestos-related lung cancer, contact the law offices of Joe Bornstein to learn about your legal rights. Maine has the highest rate of mesothelioma fatalities in the U.S. You may be eligible to receive compensation if you were exposed to asbestos products while working in a shipyard, mill, factory, or construction site. For a free case evaluation, dial 207-CALL-JOE or online at joebornstein.com.
If only there was a place in the morning to start my day. With a smile, somewhere to help me get in the know. Oh wait, there is.
Good morning, America.
GMA 7A. Now that's how you start your day.
Welcome back, everyone. Turtles are known for being slow, but this is the time of year when they are truly on the move.
As a result, snappers and painted turtles are often hit by motorists while navigating, to areas where they lay eggs. And when that happens, Avian Haven in Freedom is there to help.
Our Jody Hersey has more.
Last year we took in about 75 turtles. We take in more every year. When we look back at our numbers for the last few years, it's the first 2 weeks of June that are really peak season.
Avian Haven is known for rescuing and rehabilitating birds, but there's also a whole part of the nonprofit in Freedom that is just as dedicated to helping injured turtles.
So he came in, his beak was really bloody, but he is rehabable because he could still eat.
Kayla Tibaldo is a rehab assistant at Avian Haven. She says over the years, the nonprofit has helped snapping, painted, wood, and box turtles.
Often during this time of year, they're trying to get to nesting habitat, so they're crossing roads because a lot of roads go through their path, and they end up getting hit by a car and they have shell fractures. What we do is we clean the injury first, and then we'll close it and use this special tape with a special glue to hold it in place. And this guy, you can't even tell really where the fracture is because we pushed it together so well.
Avian Haven isn't the only rehab facility dedicated to the welfare of these reptiles. Acadia Wildlife on MDI, Center for Wildlife in Cape Nettic, and Misfits Rehab in Auburn also take in injured turtles.
They take so long to be able to reproduce. Snappers take about 30 years. So if you are saving one snapper, you're really doing the work to save the species.
Executive Director Lee Hallett says Avian Haven is willing to help, but motorists can also play a role in the longevity of turtles.
Motorists can really be on guard, slow down a bit, pay attention when they're going through those roadways where they know there's swamp, there's water, there's ponds on either side. It can make a huge difference because a turtle's not going to rush to get out of the way of an oncoming car the way other wildlife does.
In Freedom, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
I wasn't aware they did that out there.
I know.
It's very important work.
Good to know. All right, now here's meteorologist Evan Biggs with our full weather forecast.
Alrighty, here we go. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop with a large supply of ammo in stock, custom Damascus knives, fishing supplies of all kinds, concealed weapons classes, and a full line of Dragonfly UV tackle, plus the latest in ultraviolet tackle. Call today. Alrighty, here we go. Air quality is a problem across some parts of the Northeast now, courtesy of wildfires in Canada. Here in Maine, we're okay for the time being. Areas to the west are already in code orange, if not even code red in a few spots. So orange means unhealthy for the sensitive groups, or unhealthy in the red for everybody, though. So if you're in the red area, that means it's unhealthy for everybody. But in Bangor, though, and pretty much the entire state, we're looking okay. We're green for now. We'll stay green today, but we'll need to keep an eye on this. So courtesy of that wildfire smoke. So look at this. So it's going to mainly miss us courtesy of that area low pressure. The area low pressure, that counterclockwise rotation, will be sending all this smoke further off towards the west. So that's why they're under air quality alerts, as they'll be dealing with this at least through Friday at best. But otherwise, so back here at home, small craft advisory is expiring this morning for this little area right about in here, expiring at 8 a.m. So we'll start to improve as we do proceed forward in time. But again, wave heights remaining active at around 2 to 3 feet, at least closer towards shore, not as bad, but it's further out towards sea where it is more active at around 6 to even 7 feet, according towards some of those buoys. So closer toward land, not too bad. That's why they're going to be trimming some of those advisories back later on this morning. We've been watching some showers already developing this morning, tracking from the east going toward the west. And we're just getting started with this next round. I'll be moving in not only today, though, but later on tonight and pretty much most of this week as well. This low pressure center not really moving all that much. We'll have to wait until at least this weekend, though, before this thing finally starts to get out of here as this pattern continues to remain slow. So futurecast moving forward for today, more rain on the way throughout the daytime period. Some dry hours as well from time to time, but we'll have to wait until later into the daytime period or even later on tonight for some of those dry hours, although scattered showers will continue to remain a thing, though, even through Wednesday morning as well. And pretty much a repetitive pattern, more scattered showers possible even as we head towards Wednesday night and even into Thursday as well. Sounds like a broken record, and we'll be dealing with that, though, in due time for a while. So how much rain can we possibly see? Possibly up to an inch or two before we're all finished up in a few areas. This is running through at least early Sunday morning, so some decent rainfall on the way across some parts of the area. So your forecast for today, though, upper 50s, rain likely, also breezy out there. The north wind getting up to around 25 miles per hour. For tonight, upper 40s, scattered showers, also breezy out there. Northwest wind getting up to around 25 miles per hour. For tomorrow, upper 50s, rain likely, also breezy out there again. The northwest wind getting up to around 20 miles per hour at times early and kind of backing off a little bit later on. Alrighty, here's a look at your extended forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop. Plenty of rain on the way through Friday. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s. We warm up into the upper 60s on Saturday with a chance for scattered showers and thunderstorms.